The first thing you do when you open your eyes isn't to stretch, but to instinctively reach for your phone to check your stats. When you eat, the food is tasteless because your mind is consumed with one thought. Which trend should I jump on today? To maintain so-called activity, you force yourself to post daily. Even using AI to generate dozens of soulless posts that you scatter like a net, then humbly pray that the algorithm will grant you a little traffic. If this is you, or even if just one of these things rings true, then what I'm about to say is specifically for you. I have to start by pouring some cold water on you. What you're doing isn't hard work, it's ineffective busyness. You're using tactical frenzy to cover up strategic laziness. In an era where everyone is in a mad dash, trying to chew up knowledge and spoon-feed it to their audience in a minute, I've chosen to be a slow creator. My friends all said I was crazy. They said, on the internet, speed is everything. They said, if you don't post daily, you're dead. But what happened? While they were losing handfuls of hair over data anxiety, I was calm. While their followers were unsubscribing due to homogeneous content, my stats actually improved. Why? Behind this lies a business truth that most people ignore. On an internet flooded with junk food, the public is starving. They are desperate for a well-cooked, proper meal. Today, I want to borrow the wisdom of Charlie Munger to have a deep chat with you about why, in this fast-paced era, slow is the only way out for the average person. First, we need to address a fundamental fear. Why are we so afraid of being slow? Essentially, we have a deep misunderstanding of the algorithm. We tend to think of the algorithm as a fickle partner who will abandon us if we don't show up for a single day. So we get stuck in a hamster wheel game. You run desperately, exhausted, afraid to stop, because you believe that if you pause for even a second, your traffic will drop to zero. Friends, this isn't building an asset. This is doing gig work. You might seem like the owner of your account, but in reality, you're a slave to traffic. But take a closer look at the current ecosystem. Have you noticed that the truly big accounts that survive for 3 or 5 years on the internet never win by being fast? On the contrary, those accounts that post 3 to 5 times a day, desperately chasing trends, are often like shooting stars. They burn bright and fade even faster. Why? Because they have no moat. When everyone is making watch a movie in 3 minutes content, the audience's threshold is raised indefinitely. You're fast, but someone is faster. You're shallow, but someone is shallower. This is a race to the bottom, a downward spiral. You get 100,000 views today by piggybacking on a trend, but tomorrow, when the trend is gone, you have to start from scratch to find the next stimulus. Your every creation has no cumulative effect. It's a one-time consumption. This is the core point I want to make. Being fast is overdrafting your credibility. Being slow is accumulating your assets. This brings us to one of Charlie Munger's core principles: compounding. Munger spent his life emphasizing that you don't need to be smarter than others. You just need to be more patient. Applying this to content creation is a game changer. What is the compounding of content? Let me give you an example. You have 2 choices. Choice A: you spend a day piecing together 5 short videos on trending topics. Choice B: you spend a whole week or even 2 researching, thinking about the underlying principles, and polishing a long piece of content on how to build self-confidence from scratch, or a deep dive into a certain industry trend. When you first publish it, it might only get 2,000 views because it's not sensational. On the surface, A wins. But what if we stretch the timeline to a year? The content from A has long sunk into the internet's garbage dump, contributing no more traffic. But the content from B, because it solves a user's real pain point and is deep enough, will be continuously found by users through search. It will be repeatedly recommended by the platform to new audiences. After a year, this single piece of content might have brought you 100,000 views and, more importantly, a few thousand loyal fans who genuinely recognize your value. This is the power of slow. Your real moat isn't the speed of your updates, but the half-life of your content. How long your content lives determines how great your business value is. If your copy can be written by AI in 2 seconds, you can be replaced at any time. But if your insights on life, your unique narrative perspective, are the result of a week's deep thought, that's something no AI or competitor can ever steal. So the question is, how do we specifically slow down? Many friends say, I want to be slow, but if I slow down, I can't make a living. That's not true. Slowing down doesn't mean being lazy. It means applying your effort more precisely. Here are 3 concrete strategies for you. First, switch from a traffic mindset to a product mindset. In the past, when you created content, you thought, what's hot is what I'll shoot. That's a traffic mindset. Now I want you to shift your perspective and treat every video, every article as a product to be polished. What does it mean to make a product? It means you're responsible for the user, that there's after-sales service. When choosing topics, please practice subtraction. Before you choose a topic, ask yourself a soul-searching question. Will anyone still watch this 6 months from now? If it's some celebrity drama, don't make it. That's junk food. Go for content about human nature, skills, or fundamental principles. This is called evergreen content. It's like a tree you plant. It grows slowly at first, but later, it will continuously drop fruit for you. Second, go to the extreme with depth. The market is now full of fast food. Everyone is chewing up knowledge and spoon-feeding it to the audience like they're babies. So you do the opposite. You do deep analysis. You do 30-minute case studies. You talk about the boring but useful stuff that others avoid. You might worry, what if the audience has no patience? That's precisely the point. We use depth to filter our audience. Those fast food users who can only handle 15 seconds of stimulation can leave. It's no loss. The ones who stay, who are willing to spend 10 or 20 minutes listening to you, are the truly high-value, thinking individuals, the super users who will be willing to pay for your knowledge in the future. We want 1,000 loyal fans, not 100,000 passersby. Third, learn to create white space and live life. This might sound the most abstract, but it's actually the most important. Why is your content getting drier and drier? Because you have no input. You're outputting every day like a tireless machine, and your brain has been completely drained. Charlie Munger said that the most successful decision of his life was to say no. He spent a huge amount of time reading and thinking, not trading frequently. It's the same for creators. You must force yourself to disconnect from the internet. Go read some difficult books, talk to real people, experience real pain and joy. You have to believe that inspiration is never squeezed out. It overflows. When your life is rich enough, when your understanding of the world is deep enough, the tension and texture in the words you write are something those who sit at a computer all day piecing together materials can never replicate. Finally, I want to talk about mindset. I know it's hard to slow down. When you see a peer gain 10,000 followers this week while you still polishing that one manuscript, you'll feel anxious. You'll doubt yourself. That's normal. But in this creative marathon, the winner is never the one who runs the fastest, but the one who lasts the longest. Look at those once famous internet celebrities. How many are still remembered? But those who were writing blogs and providing value a decade ago, even as platforms changed and formats evolved, they still have a group of diehard followers. In this impetuous era, daring to slow down is, in itself, a huge competitive advantage. Because slow means you have substance. It means you respect your audience's intelligence, and more importantly, it means you're polishing a sense of scarcity that others cannot imitate. So today, I don't want to hype you up. I want to give you a peace of mind. Stop worrying about the daily posting legends. Stop worrying about those inflated numbers. Try to shift your focus from today to next year, or even 5 years from now. I have a small challenge for you. Try to stop posting for a few days this week, maybe even a whole week. Don't be afraid, your followers won't leave. Use this time to sit in a library, organize your knowledge system, and polish a piece of work that you are genuinely proud of, one that you'll look back on years from now and think, I wrote that really well. The moment you publish it, you'll find that the market is fair. It rewards those who are serious. If you're also tired of the endless chase, if you also want to be a craftsman with warmth instead of a laborer for traffic, please let me know in the comments. Let's use the compound interest of time to fight against this restless world. Because walking slowly gets you there faster. Thanks for watching.